Since its 2018 release, the purchase price has steadily increased over the years as new generations find their way onto the scene with new colors and iterations. The current price is listed as £6,039 with alternative colors stretching the price to £6,539. As tested, the downtown drag is priced up at £6,399. It's not my personal favorite color from the eclectic color palette, but it's nevertheless a stylish option. Royal Enfield's dealer network is ever growing, and many dealers will have a corner of the showroom dedicated to the Indian-backed Marque thanks to their seemingly endless availability in the UK. Many spec sheet snobs will scroll the power on offer here and turn a blind eye to what is otherwise a fantastic unit. The retro middleweight is powered by a Euro 5 compliant airc ooled 648cc twin with electronic fuel ignition, with an A2 compliant 47 bhp on tap at 7,150 revolutions per minute, and 52.3 Nm of torque peaking at 5,150 revolutions per minute, but most available nigh on instantly from the 2,000 revolutions per minute mark. Power is put down really smoothly through the 6-speed box with an assist and slipper clutch, and you really get out of it what you put in. Ride aggressively and work the gearbox and you'll have loads of fun squeezing all of the power you can with the throttle pinned, yet town and city cruises are just as appealing with a lovely burble from the twin exhausts. Naturally your arms won't be pulled off when accelerating hard from a stop, though I again refer to the old adage of, it's great fun to work a bike to 100% of what it's capable of. If cruising at 60 miles per hour in 6th gear, you'll certainly want to click down a couple of gears before putting the hammer down, making sure to work all of the gears to make the most of the torque that's available down low. If pushed you'll meet triple digits, but the steering does start to feel a bit twitchy when hammering away. It's far happier cruising at 75 miles per hour than at full tuck and full twist. If you're after a long-distance mile muncher, this may not quite be the plush choice you're after out of the box. With the steel tubular double cradle frame, most of the 217 kg wet weight is held low on the bike. The engine holds most of the bulk, and I've seen Interceptor owners attempt to shed some of the weight by removing superfluous bolt-ons, including the center stand and swapping out indicator and brake light clusters for slightly slimmer and sleeker options. I'm a 6'3" rider, and whilst I was adequate enough in the 805mm saddle to not ache in pain after longer rides, I did find the bike a tad unsettled when mid-corner as my 88 kg weight added a tad of top-heavy weight to the mix. Moving the bike around when parked was also a tad weighty, but certainly manageable. Asking my shorter riding pals to hoik the bike onto its center stand also induced a few heavy grunts, but it's not out of the realm of possibility. With 18-inch wheels front and rear, braking power is provided by Brie in the form of a single 320mm disc up front, and 240mm disc at the rear. Dual-channel ABS features and braking performance is soft in application but adequate, particularly for riders looking for an easy-going feel. Suspension comes in the form of 41mm telescopic forks with 110mm of travel, and twin rear shocks with external reservoirs. It's not the best suspension setup ever seen on two wheels, with successive bumps in the road able to unsettle some of your forward momentum thanks to a really soft way of life, but again it's certainly adequate for the regular rider. If after any significant modification upgrade to the Royal Enfield Interceptor 650S performance, I'd certainly be casting an eye at upgrading the suspension. Speaking of, the sheer number of aftermarket accessories for the Interceptor 650 will give the average evening garage tinkler a breath of fresh air. In a world where ECUs and parts require nothing short of an engineering degree to apply, being able to get to work with a 10mm and a can of your favorite lager is a real blast from the past. Personally, I'd look at a little fly screen to facilitate a bit of comfort from the wind on longer rides, heated grips, and a little scrambler style infused into the setup with new suspension for one. And once the supplied Zoom Cruise rubber is worn, I'd be searching for an alternative pair of shoes. They're fine, but can feel a bit squirmy in adverse weather. Realistically, the canvas is entirely blank, and you're able to really stamp your own personality onto the bike in whatever way you wish. In my book, that's a serious plus point for a machine that's already certain to turn heads. I suppose the touring ability is worth a mention, given that many households will nowadays be one bike per resident. The 805mm bench seat can begin to feel a little firm on day-long rides, and carrying a pillion is possible if you don't mind being scooted right up to the tank. Pillions may find the seating arrangements a little uncomfortable over distance. You're given a 13.7-liter tank, and a fuel warning light that'll illuminate with around 2.9 liters remaining. This is enough to give you around 120 miles of real-world riding before you're wide-eyed and searching for the nearest fuel pump. The listed consumption is 4.2 liters per 100 kilometers. A fuel gauge would be nice, but not vital, and adds extra retro flair to this modern-day classic. As a final point, I found the lights fairly decent when riding at night. It's a standard lamp that illuminates the road in front of you, and high beam offers a soft illumination above the dipped beam. It's not great and certainly encourages you to take it easy when riding an unfamiliar route home.